Listen up, riders. That two-wheeled death machine between your legs is nothing more than a loud, chrome-plated cry for help. You think you're a road legend? You're just a cosplay on wheels, blocking the left lane. Now grab your overpriced coffee and prepare to be roasted as we break down what your motorcycle brand really says about you. Let's start with the riders held together by zip ties and pure delusion, because somehow they think that's roadworthy. Suzuki ownership is the motorcycle equivalent of finding a designer suit at a thrift store. You're getting premium performance without the premium price tag, and you're not afraid to tell everyone about your savvy decision. Your GSXR or V-Strom was purchased based on an almost mathematical formula of performance per dollar, and you defend this decision with spreadsheet-worthy precision. You've used the phrase "just as good as" so many times it should be printed on your riding jacket. The rest of us roll our eyes at your budget-conscious approach that often crosses into cheapskate territory. Your idea of maintenance is fix it when it breaks, and your bike looks like it survived a post-apocalyptic scavenger hunt with mismatched fairings and zip-tied turn signals. You'll spend hours arguing why your 10-year-old Gixxer is basically the same as a brand-new R1 while ignoring the duct tape holding your seat together. But your pragmatic approach to motorcycling is secretly admirable. You understand that motorcycles are tools meant to be ridden, not precious objects to be coddled. Your budget-conscious approach means you're actually out riding while others are saving up for their next accessory. There's something refreshingly honest about prioritizing function over form and miles over appearance. You're getting the most bang for your buck, and in a hobby that can quickly become a financial black hole, that's actually pretty smart. Speaking of financial black holes, let's talk about the people who think loud pipes save lives, but can't seem to hear their own financial advisor screaming. Harley riders aren't just motorcycle owners. They're brand ambassadors for a lifestyle that's equal parts nostalgia and rebellion. Your garage likely contains more Harley-branded items than your actual wardrobe, and you've memorized the company's founding date to drop into conversations. The Harley community is uniquely tribal. You wave exclusively to other Harleys while ignoring sport bikes as if they're riding invisible motorcycles. Your vocabulary includes terms like bagger, softail, and twin cam, which you use with religious reverence. Let's be honest, you're the vegans of the motorcycle world. How do you know someone rides a Harley? Don't worry, they'll tell you within 30 seconds of meeting them. Your insistence that loud pipes save lives while setting off car alarms at 6 a.m. makes you the neighborhood nuisance. The rest of us are just trying to figure out how a vehicle that weighs as much as a small planet and has the turning radius of an oil tanker counts as a nimble form of transportation. But here's the thing. Behind all that chrome and leather beats the heart of genuine motorcycle culture. When charity rides need participants, Harley folks show up in droves. When a rider is stranded, even one on a Japanese sport bike, it's often the Harley rider who stops first. You might be loud, proud, and slightly obnoxious, but you're keeping a uniquely American tradition alive. And there's something genuinely cool about that, even if we'll never admit it to your face. If Harley riders are the loud uncles of motorcycling, our next group is definitely the pretentious cousins who studied abroad for one semester and won't shut up about it. Ducati ownership is less a transportation choice and more a passionate love affair with mechanical art. You don't just ride, you experience your motorcycle, often describing the sound of your dry clutch as mechanical symphony with zero irony. Your relationship with your Ducati dealer's service department is more consistent than most of your personal relationships. You've got their number saved under Italian therapist, and you're on a first-name basis with everyone from the service manager to the courtesy shuttle driver. The rest of us can't stand your pretentious attitude about Italian engineering while we watch you stranded yet again with electrical gremlins. You've turned motorcycle maintenance into a personality trait, acting like spending half your paycheck on desmodromic valve adjustments is some kind of virtue. The way you look down your nose at Japanese bikes while secretly envying their reliability is the two-wheeled equivalent of claiming you prefer vinyl while streaming Spotify when nobody's looking. But damn it, when that Italian twin is singing and you're carving through canyons, you make the rest of us question our life choices. There's something undeniably special about Ducati's racing heritage and the way they blend art with engineering. Your passion for the experience of of riding, not just the destination, reminds us all why we fell in love with motorcycles in the first place. Just maybe tone down the Italian passion speeches after your third espresso, okay? From Italian drama queens to German control freaks. Coming up next, the riders who treat motorcycles like science projects and somehow manage to suck the fun out of going fast. BMW riders approach motorcycling with the precision of German engineering. Your idea of packing light for a trip includes 3 waterproof layers, a toolkit that would make a mechanic jealous, and emergency rations that could sustain you through nuclear winter. You've got more acronyms on your bike than the military has in their entire operation manual. From ESA, ABS to ASC to DTC, you can recite what each one does and why it's essential for your 7-mile commute to work. The motorcycle community collectively rolls their eyes at your all the gear, all the time lectures, and the way you've turned basic safety into moral superiority. Your $3,000 Klim Adventure suit has never seen dirt, and you treat the owner's manual like religious text. The rest of us are tired of hearing how your electronically adjustable suspension makes our bikes feel like covered wagons, while you fiddle with your GPS to find the nearest Starbucks on your adventure. But secretly, we all wish we had your level of preparation when the skies open up and you're the only one riding comfortably through a downpour. Your methodical approach to maintenance means your bike will still be running perfectly when ours are long scrapped. In a world of Instagram posers, you're actually putting serious miles on your machines, crossing continents while the rest of us debate the merits of different exhaust notes. You might be the motorcycle equivalent of the kid who reminded the teacher about homework, but you're doing this whole motorcycling thing properly. If BMW riders are overthinking every ride, our next group might not be thinking at all. Let's talk about the folks who approach motorcycling with the same passion and precision as picking out a grocery bag. Honda riders value function over form with almost religious dedication. You researched your motorcycle purchase for months, reading every comparison test and reliability survey before confidently selecting the most sensible option available. Your maintenance schedule isn't just followed, it's anticipated. You change your oil 100 miles before the manual suggests because it's just good practice. Your garage is organized with laboratory precision, and your tools are arranged by size and function. The rest of us mock your utter lack of excitement about motorcycling. You approach riding with all the passion of someone selecting a refrigerator, prioritizing reliability statistics over soul. Your CBR has all the personality of a kitchen appliance, and you ride with the enthusiasm of someone filing their taxes. We're out here having emotional relationships with our bikes, while you're basically commuting on a calculator with wheels. Yet there's something admirable about your drama-free approach to motorcycling. While we're posting breakdown stories on forums, you're actually riding. When we're waiting for parts, you're racking up miles. Your Honda might not stir the soul, but it never breaks your heart either. There's wisdom in choosing a motorcycle that just works every single time, without the emotional roller coaster. You're not passionate about motorcycles. You're passionate about motorcycling, and maybe that's the smarter approach all along. If Honda riders are the sensible shoes of motorcycling, then our next group is the flip-flops on a roller coaster, chugging energy drinks and praying the road doesn't bite back. Hold my beer, this one's wild. Kawasaki riders approach motorcycling with the subtlety of a monster truck rally. Your color palette ranges from lime green to nuclear waste green, and you see nothing wrong with this aesthetic choice. You've memorized your bike's horsepower and torque figures, and recite them with the reverence others reserve for their children's birthdays. Your phone contains at least a dozen videos of your exhaust note, most filmed in tunnels or parking garages for maximum acoustic effect. The motorcycling community collectively cringes at your monster energy-fueled approach to riding. You treat public roads like your personal racetrack, and your definition of braking in the engine involves redlining it at every opportunity. Your riding gear looks like it was designed by a committee of 13-year-old boys who just discovered energy drinks, and your interpretation of traffic laws is more like guidelines, really. But your childlike enthusiasm for motorcycling is secretly infectious. While the rest of us are overthinking every aspect of riding, you're out there having genuine, uncomplicated fun. Your willingness to push limits has made you a surprisingly skilled rider, and beneath the squid antics lies a genuine passion for mastering your machine. You remind the rest of us that motorcycling should be exhilarating, not just practical. Just maybe maybe keep the wheelies for the track, okay? Some of us want motorcycling to remain legal. Now that we've survived the neon green adrenaline junkies, let's move on to the human equivalent of ordering vanilla at a gourmet dessert shop. You know who you are, blending in at every bike meet like it's a witness protection program. Yamaha riders represent the perfect middle ground of motorcycling. Technical enough to appreciate engineering, but not so obsessed that it becomes your entire personality. You chose your bike after careful consideration of performance, reliability, and value, creating a Venn diagram where all three circles overlap perfectly. You take quiet pride in knowing your R1's crossplane crankshaft shares technology with MotoGP bikes, but you don't feel the need to mention this in every conversation. Your modifications are tasteful and functional rather than flashy, focusing on subtle improvements rather than attention-grabbing additions. The rest of us find your middle-of-the-road approach almost suspiciously balanced. You're not Italian exotic enough for the Ducati crowd, not adventure-ready enough for the BMW folks, and not American enough for the Harley tribe. Your reasonable approach to motorcycling makes you nearly invisible in a community that thrives on strong opinions and tribal identities. You're the motorcycle equivalent of saying your favorite ice cream flavor is vanilla. Technically fine, but suspiciously lacking in commitment. Yet your balanced approach makes you perhaps the most complete motorcyclist of all. You're skilled without being reckless, knowledgeable without being pretentious, and passionate without being obsessive. Your bike strikes the perfect balance between reliability and character, performance and practicality. While the rest of us are defending our extreme choices, you're quietly enjoying the best of all worlds. There's wisdom in moderation, even if it doesn't make for the most exciting Instagram content. If Yamaha riders are suspiciously well-adjusted, our next group is what happens when you hand a Mountain Dew chugging teenager a black card and zero survival instinct. Buckle up, Buttercup. This is about to get sketchy. KTM ownership isn't just a motorcycle choice. It's a personality disorder disguised as a transportation decision. Your idea of a relaxing Sunday ride includes terrain that would challenge a mountain goat, and you consider pavement a necessary evil between dirt sections. Your motorcycle has more suspension travel than most riders have courage, and you use every millimeter of it regularly. Your riding gear looks like it was designed by someone who exclusively consumes energy drinks and action movies, with more neon colors than a 1980s dance party. The rest of us are exhausted just listening to your stories about sending it over obstacles that would give mountain goats pause. Your entire personality revolves around how extreme your last ride was, and you treat basic self-preservation as a character flaw. Your maintenance schedule is best described as ride it until something breaks, then jump it anyway. The phrase, "hold my beer," seems to precede most of your riding decisions. But your unbridled enthusiasm for pushing limits is secretly inspiring. When the rest of us are calculating risks, you're calculating airtime. Your willingness to get back up after spectacular crashes shows a resilience that's genuinely admirable. You approach motorcycling with a purity of purpose, finding the absolute limit of what's possible on two wheels, and there's something beautifully uncomplicated about that philosophy. You remind us that motorcycling should be an adventure, not just transportation, even if your version of adventure requires an on-call orthopedic surgeon. From the emergency room regulars to the Instagram influencers of motorcycling, let's talk about people who spend more time choosing filters than riding lines. Triumph riders have elevated motorcycling to an art form where aesthetics are equally important as performance. Your Bonneville, Thruxton, or Speed Triple isn't just transportation. It's a carefully curated expression of your personal brand. You've spent more time selecting the perfect leather gloves to match your bike than most people spend choosing a college major. Your helmet collection is displayed like fine art, and each one has a story about the small batch manufacturer who handcrafts them in a converted barn somewhere. The rest of us are tired of your Instagram photo shoots in front of brick walls and your lectures about authentic motorcycling experience. You've turned riding into performance art, and your bike spends more time being photographed than actually ridden. You can't just enjoy a motorcycle. You have to create an entire aesthetic around it, complete with matching boots, jacket, and carefully curated facial hair. But your appreciation for the artistry of motorcycling reminds the rest of us why these machines captivate us in the first place. You see beauty where others see transportation, and your attention to detail elevates the entire culture. Behind the carefully crafted image is genuine passion for motorcycling history and design. You're preserving a connection to motorcycling's golden age while embracing modern performance, creating a bridge between generations of riders. Just maybe ease up on the filtered photos. We get it. Your bike looks good. If Triumph riders are the hipsters of motorcycling, then get ready, because our next group is basically Harley guys in denial. They crave the rumble, reject the label, and absolutely need you to know they're different. This one's going to sting. Indian motorcycle owners are history buffs with a rebellious streak. You didn't just buy a motorcycle. You invested in American heritage with a side of contrarianism. Your garage contains at least one book about the history of American motorcycling, which you've highlighted extensively. You take immense satisfaction in correcting Harley owners about which company came first, and you've memorized production dates and historical milestones to support your position in these debates. Your knowledge of flathead engines and board track racing would qualify you for a teaching position at a motorcycle history department, if such a thing existed. The rest of us are exhausted by your, well, actually approach to American motorcycling. You've turned being a contrarian into a lifestyle choice, defining yourself by what you're not, a Harley rider, rather than what you are. You can't just enjoy your bike. You have to deliver a history lecture that nobody asked for, complete with references to the original Springfield factory and the 1920s racing team. But your dedication to preserving an alternative American motorcycle tradition adds valuable diversity to the riding community. You've rescued an iconic American brand from the history books and given it new life. Your knowledge of motorcycling history enriches the entire community, even if we pretend to check our phones when you start talking about board track racers. Behind the historical obsession is a genuine appreciation for engineering excellence and American craftsmanship that transcends brand tribalism. And finally, for those who wanted to be different, but also wanted to ensure no mechanic within 100 miles could fix their bike, let's talk about the most obscure choice a motorcyclist can make. Moto Guzzi ownership is the motorcycle equivalent of collecting rare vinyl records. It's not just about transportation, it's about appreciating something unique that most people will never understand. Your motorcycle choice reflects a level of individualism that borders on stubborn defiance of mainstream options. You've become an amateur historian by necessity, able to explain your bike's unusual transverse V-twin engine configuration and the company's century-long history to confused onlookers who mistake your bike for some kind of BMW. You've practiced this explanation so many times, you could deliver it in your sleep. The rest of us question your sanity for choosing a bike that vibrates like it's powered by angry bees and has a parts supply chain that involves international shipping and prayers to Italian motorcycle deities. Your idea of reliability is, it usually starts eventually. And your definition of dealer support is a guy in Milan who checks his email once a month. You've turned mechanical quirks into character features through sheer force of will. But your commitment to riding something truly unique in a world of mass-produced sameness is secretly admirable. You choose passion over practicality, character over convenience, and in doing so, you're preserving a slice of motorcycling history that would otherwise be lost. Your Guzzi isn't just transportation, it's a living museum piece that you've kept on the road through dedication and love. In a world where motorcycles are becoming increasingly homogenized, you're keeping genuine diversity alive, one quirky Italian V-twin at a time. Want to watch more kinds of these videos? Click the video on your screen now. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.